And then I started coming down pretty good with my cigarettes. I used to smoke 20, 30 smokes a day.
How did Bridge support me and quit smoking? By being there for me, telling me, helping me out, giving me the patches to get off the cigarettes.
I've cut back considerably since I started with the Bridge.
Not buying, I was bumming, or picking butts from the ground, whatever, buying rolling paper and rolling them up and doing all that stuff.
I've been smoking an e-cigarette now for about 4 or 5 years.
They helped me find a place to live. They've helped me with bus fare. They've helped me cut down on my smoking.
I'm quitting smoking and I come for the companionship.
If you need any help with anything, this is the place to be. These people will help you out very much. More than you want to be helped, actually.
This is the Bridge Engagement Center. The Bridge, we call it for short. And this is our community-based research center where we do research in partnership with people and people who are homeless or at risk for homelessness, people of indigenous origin, or people who use drugs. I always believe in, whatever we are doing, we should measure, because if we don't measure, might as well don't do it, because we do not know if it is helpful or not helpful.
Someone stole that, right? Well, they steal all of it.
I tell people, look, I was never homeless, I was never evicted, I never smoked. You are the expert. And they look at me and, oh, I never thought somebody would call me an expert for being a smoker or a homeless. I said, that's exactly what it is. Because you know what works, you know what doesn't work, and what's urgently needed. And that's what we need to know. Having that participatory angle always was in my research, because I always believe in, you learn so much from people who are there, and they have local knowledge, they have a lot of other soft skills that we cannot even think of. We found that about 96% smoke tobacco in this population, and who were more than 16-year-old and at risk of homelessness or drug use. In Ottawa, we have the lowest tobacco smoking rate. In Ontario, even, the tobacco smoking rate is higher than Ottawa, 9 to 12% tobacco smoking rate. So when people learn that, our population is about 96%, and they couldn't juxtapose this. 96 versus 9%, that's too much. Well, what could we do about it? Because it's not just the number, it's those many emergency room visits, the hospitalization, those many diseases, those many premature deaths. So the PROM project was born with that statistics of 96 versus 9%, and people were really surprised to know that so many people smoke.
Are you noticing anything different with how you feel and the taste in the food or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
Our approach is harm reduction approach. We don't stress that person about the quitting and quitting process.
Do you remember how many cigarettes you were smoking when you were smoking the most? About 10. So you're down to 3 cigarettes a day now. Congratulations. And
so the lingo then becomes totally different. People are already bought in. People are not stressed.
And so the gum is helping with that? Okay, perfect. So I'm going to just...
They have tried quitting, they have failed quitting, and they have relapsed. This was their idea, so the quitting term is not used here.
This has 108
Okay.
there, so you can have, when you have a craving, then you use a gum. And the gum gets absorbed in the mucous membrane in your mouth.
Okay.
And so you have to remember that you need to let it sit there for a minute. So
Right.
chew, park is
Oh,
the way
okay.
is
Oh, yeah, don't chew it like gum.
That's right, not chew
Okay.
like gum. Okay?
All right.
I guess I'm seen as the nurse for nicotine replacement, the smoking cessation nurse. We know that people want to be able to reduce the number of cigarettes they smoke. So good luck, my friend.
Thank you very much.
All right, take care.
meeting you.
Really nice to see you. There's been this sort of illusion that people with mental health issues and substance use issues need to smoke because it's what they have to do to stay healthy, and that, of course, we know is a myth.
The prom project we did really on shoestring budget. And so we selected peers and we trained them on the nitty-gritty stuff of research like the ethics, the consent. And these community peers are people literally from the street, because people with lived experience who actually relate to the population. We enrolled about 80 people in the prom project and we followed them for 6 months.
I've been with the bridge for 4 years now, a little better than 4 years. My role was just, I was doing the smoking cessation thing as first started, and then I started getting involved with the peer work. It's been 2 years now since I've actually, like I can buy a 20 pack of cigarettes now, it lasts me 5-6 days. Some days I won't even smoke for 3 days. I go out on a daily basis, probably around 2 to 3 hours a day, go and find who needs to do their follow-up for their smoking cessation.
Mwah! My supporter.
Yeah. We do intakes and follow-ups and with the clients, and just I make phone calls to them and see how they're doing sometimes if we haven't seen them for a while. It's harder for her, eh? To deal with me, so.
No, it's because I don't take orders from anybody.
Just basically talk to them and see how they are, you know, if they don't show up, kind of thing. The peer supporters go through the program to help us reduce smoking. Yeah. How many cigarettes you down to a day now?
Well, I was down to 1 cigarette a day, but now I'm back up to.
I wanted to cut back on smoking because I recently had a granddaughter, so you know I'd like to be there for her when she gets a little older.
Yes, I'm using the patches and the inhalers.
When I used to use a lot of drugs, and I thought I wasn't going to be here, you know, and back up to.
I'm back up to doing anywhere from 5 to 8 cigarettes a day. So I was having a hard time breathing, you know, but I don't know. I got to do something with my hands. So smoke, and then now it's going. I'm cutting down a lot. So.
That's all right.
And I'm gonna try to show
You can run it over on a truck.
Well, I was walking by and they had a free breakfast. Wow, big deal. It's good for me.
Yeah.
So anyways, Terry asked me if I wanted to join a non-smoking cessation program. I laughed in his face and said, no. I said, I'm happy. I don't want to quit smoking. Smoking like 30 cigarettes more a day. Doesn't bother me. And then I signed up for this, and I started doing the patches.
That'll be plenty until we get to sign you up again in January.
Already? We're cut down dramatically. I'm down to under 10 a day now. So the nicotine patches are working. That's why I joined. And after coming here a couple of times, I felt comfortable and like family. Let's see, where we're going to put that little bit. Yeah, I'm a softie. Cold hands, warm heart. Yeah, they do a good job.
As a part of the project itself, we had once a month follow-up collecting the data. And in between, we had also organized weekly or bi-weekly workshops. And the workshops were on ideas what came from the peers or the participants. So they said we want cooking on a budget, or they wanted HIV or Hep C education, or something about banking.
There's this beautiful art show that is going to be happening at one of the local restaurants. So a lot of the participants have extraordinary talents being displayed here in this art show. 100% of the proceeds will go to the artist.
got a medicine wheel with a feather and a dream catcher tied together. One's got earrings that she'd made. One made knitted little toques. There's a variety of things.
This one here, it's just with a funnel with the paint. We put it on the canvas and just like mix it around. I made a couple of pictures. I'm not the best artist in the world, but I'm more musical than I am artistic, like drawing or anything. I can't draw a good stick man, you know.
What really helps for people to be able to move beyond the difficulties that they've experienced in their lives is to have meaningful activities. Keeping busy and doing something with their hands, or having other projects to keep focused on, certainly helps relieve the number of cigarettes that they might be smoking.
Easier now because I don't have to hold the tool. It's a medicine for me. Instead of reaching for a cigarette pack, I'm knitting my dream catcher. My hands are occupied. There's no cigarette attached to it, so it makes it easier for that. My mind's not even on the smoking by the time I get started because I'm busy, I'm concentrating on the dream catcher.
When the data was analyzed, we saw that with the intervention that we did, with the safe space, the community-based engagement and participatory nature, a lot of people reduced or quit tobacco smoking. Almost everybody reduced, significantly reduced, and this was just 6 months. And as we know, 6 months is still shorter period for people who are smoking for like 40 years and 50 years, and some of them 2 packs a day and 4 packs a day. But what we were surprised to find was something more than that. So people not just reduce or quit tobacco, they also started reducing or quitting all other drugs. And that we never expected. Peers didn't expect, the participant themselves didn't expect. We had no funding, no in-house expertise to help them on the drug use, but just by themselves knowing that if I can do this, which I am struggling all my life to quit, the tobacco, if I can achieve this, I can do this and this. How did this lead from the reduction and quitting of tobacco use, the reduction and quitting of the other drug use, is a very interesting phenomenon. Tobacco use or drug use does not happen in isolation. Suddenly, one person doesn't wake up one day, okay, tomorrow I'm going to be homeless, and day after tomorrow I'm going to be using drugs. Nobody does that. But the circumstances, the trauma, the racialized minority, the indigenous issues, the stereotype and stigma, all of this leads you to that. When you understand the intricacy and the interaction of all these social determinants of health, then you will see, oh wow, this is very clear to me now. We don't talk about quitting. We are just an open arm place, an open concept. You just come here, sit down, have a coffee. You can chit chat. We can talk about whatever your movie that you saw. And that brings down a lot of things, like the stigma, the stereotype, the prejudice that you are facing when you are out of this building.
Thank you for coming. It really means a lot. Thank you for everybody who supported our idea. I always say I am a physician and scientist at the Ottawa Hospital and the Ottawa Hospital Research Institute. But what I learned here is much more than what I learned there, and much more meaningful, what I learned here.
As a researcher, I don't have to pose that limitation on myself. Why don't I do what really needs to be done? What really would help people?
And that's what I hope more people understand it. Our projects are totally out of the box, as you saw. So it is very labor intensive and time consuming, but very, very rewarding. Like you see real people making real changes right in front of your eyes.
I know for sure that people have the capacity to recover and transcend the situations that they've been faced with in their lifetime. To see people get empowered, by their own accord, within their own time, really enhances opportunities for their own personal growth and development.
What we do at the bridge is like You know, when you treat humans like humans, magic happens, and that's what it is. That's exactly what it is.